when I was working with GEC, back in 1986, Force Technologies was founded by Mike. What he created is a sovereign company. So sovereign is really important because it means that it's UK based, it's UK managed, it's actually also a family business as well. And when we say family, obviously you've got Karen, but Mike's daughter also works for the company over there, so it's a true family business. But what that means is they can also guide and direct the direction in which they want it to go. Also, being a sovereign company, what that does is it ensures security for its customers, and that's really important because the industries that Force actually supply into are actually critical you said injuries, industries. It's interesting because what a lot of people do is they think that aerospace, for instance, they compare it with Formula One, and actually they couldn't be any further from the truth. In Formula One, you have a quickly evolving sport, and actually if a component breaks, yes, maybe the car will stop, maybe somebody will get injured, but fundamentally they can change things on a daily basis, if not hourly basis. Whereas aerospace, yes, it's the cutting edge of technology, and indeed things like the rail industry, for example, exactly the same. But once it's designed, then that asset has to be used for a considerable amount of time. And down at component level, that actually creates a risk. And the risk is that at some point you'll get a component which is not fit for use and is not the right spec. And what Force can do is they can actually analyse the components that are being proposed to be put back into the design, because they are already pre-specified, and they can ensure that the equipment is then going to perform to spec. Fundamentally, there's no laybys in the sky, so you can't afford to break down. So it isn't Formula One, it's more akin to the nuclear industry. It needs to work every single time, and that's what Force can do for you. The facility that you're going to have a look round is actually unique in the fact that it's almost, I'm not saying almost, but it is forensic engineering. It means that it can get down and check against X-rays, it can check against performance, and what it can do is guarantee and actually ensure that the component that is ordered and then later ends up in a repair situation is blueprinted. It's actually of the right design and specification, and that's really important because we have an aggressive electronic manufacturing market now. We're getting countries that are producing equipment. You've all bought something from Temu. Mike got me onto Temu. Sometimes it doesn't necessarily turn up in the way that you thought it was described. The other issue you have lately is the hostile intervention by other parties. I'm not going to name the parties, but we all kind of know who they are. And something we were talking about, not just recently, the government wants to get mobile phones to have a kill switch. Heaven forbid that there was a kill switch in any of the aerospace designs, because you could imagine, you go to war, they could initiate this. So again, Force Technologies are there to ensure that wouldn't happen. So the other thing it does is it helps with the operational needs and the cost challenges faced today. I mean, my last aircraft I worked on retired last year. It was a Puma helicopter, 50 years in service, a stalwart, but it was old technology. It was updated, but that asset had to be absolutely sweaty to gain the most out of it. Unfortunately, it's gone, and we now rely on the venerable Chinook, which again is another aging aircraft. We have the F-34, which is already in service. However, it's interestingly that we've bought a mark which is it the Bs you can't actually refuel. So we're having to buy from other countries, and already it's a challenge because we bought an aircraft that we actually can't refuel, because the original ones were a basket and a stab, and the latest one's the American technology where you have a probe, it goes in. So all of these challenge. challenges face us. Interestingly, can anybody here, not you Mike, or you Pete, or Minna, can anybody think that the only aircraft that I've worked on is still in service with the aircraft? What aircraft would it be? No, Pete. The Spitfire. There you go. So if you're talking about sweating assets, there's a Spitfire. I'm not going to go on and talk anymore. There is one thing I want to talk about, which is the name Force. Because back in 1986, Mike named it Force Technologies. And there's a person here that I believe is a force. And she's standing right behind me. She's the key to everything that happens within this company, and she's a true driving force. So I know all the staff will say, Karen, you're a force to be measured against, and you are what is called a key enabler. So if it wasn't for you, I'm challenging it. It probably would have happened, but it would have taken a considerable length of time to do it. I need some cutty things, and I'm not going to do this by myself because you need to come in here and do it with me. So it's my absolute pleasure and my absolute pride to. You're going to have to use one hand. If I do that bit, you're going to have to get your hands on the scissors.
Why?
Quite, because we're going to cut it together.
I'm not allowed to touch scissors.
And open Force Technologies new facilities.